the verse effect. It's the random effect. It's the verse effect. I write the lyrics to change the game. Nothing's ever gonna be the same. It's the verse effect. It's just the verse effect. It's the verse effect. It's the verse effect. It's the verse effect. I write the lyrics to change the game. Nothing's ever gonna be the same.
Welcome back. Today on The Verse Effect, we're breaking down California Love by Tupac, Dr. Dre, and Roger Troutman, a record that's way bigger than a party anthem. Before we jump in, a quick disclaimer. This episode discusses lyrics and themes that reflect the time they were created. Some language and references may feel dated or uncomfortable today, but we're looking at them in their historical and cultural context, not endorsing them. With that said, let's talk about why this song still matters and how it shaped West Coast hip-hop.
Yeah, this one's about sound, place, and power. Let's get into it. I'm Roderick.
And I am Camille.
This is a song that really needs no introduction if you've been anywhere near a functioning radio since '95. Camille, you know, when I hear that opening chant, California knows how to party, in the city of LA, Watts, Compton, I get goosebumps every time. But it's funny, right? Those are not just random party cities. They're places that, for years, basically only made national headlines when things went bad. Riots, police scandals, all that.
Correct, Roderick. It's this chant that works almost like a reclamation project. Instead of focusing just on crises or, all that sensational media coverage, the song flips it. These places are havens for creativity, joy, style, energy. It's not just about we exist, it's about we thrive. And I love how, by naming Compton and Watts in the same breath as LA, Dre and Tupac basically insist on an inclusive block-by-block identity for California hip-hop. This chorus isn't just hype, it's straight-up geographical pride. Neighborhood as anthem. It's the opposite of what we talked about when we discussed the regional tensions on Biggie's Juicy or Nas's NY State of Mind. Instead of drawing lines, it bridges them.
Yeah, and it's not just LA pride, it's California pride. Big, wide, and unapologetically homegrown. I mean, look, when they list off those cities, it's not about exclusion or even rivalry. It's about saying, you see us, all of us. And if you lived on the West, like I did, you felt that. Like you're part of something. A real movement. The hook makes it statewide, not just city-specific. That's how you get an anthem, not just a local hit.
Right. And it changes what it means when people say they're from those places. Suddenly, Compton isn't just about NWA or media panic. It's culture, it's survival, it's a party. There's power in that kind of naming.
That's why it endures, right? People started repping their blocks in a whole new way after that song dropped. It was like if California Love shouts out your spot, you walk a little taller. That's music as empowerment, just like what Outkast did for Atlanta in Players Ball, which Camille, you brought up before. Same kind of energy, different coast.
Let's dive into that first verse. Dre comes in so cinematic. Welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. Now this line is fascinating to me because Dre knows exactly what he's doing. He's playing on how both Hollywood and the news paint California as some lawless, volatile place, part myth, part reality, and he steps right into that, like he's the host at a movie premiere, except the movie is actual life out west.
Yeah, he's kind of flexing, but also inviting you in. I mean, the Wild West, that's cowboy legend stuff mixed with the real chaos folks saw in the 90s. Think Rodney King, the riots, all that tension. He's not sugarcoating anything. And that untouchable like Elliot Ness line, whew. Dre's basically saying, we're here, you can't mess with us. It's braggadocio, but rooted in real street politics and industry power. It's also him planting his flag after leaving NWA and building Death Row.
Exactly, and it's confidence, not just bravado. He's signaling that post-NWA, he's still, maybe even more so, the architect of what West Coast rap was becoming. The charts were dominated by West Coast sound at the time, funk samples, big beats, those bright synths. Untouchable is as much about Dre's production dominance as it is about street credibility. It's interesting, too, because it walks that line between embracing the danger and almost mythologizing it. like he's the good gangster, but also the visionary.
And you got to remember, at that time, there was so much East Coast versus West Coast tension. You say something like untouchable. You're inviting the country to see California the way you see it. That confidence, that cinematic framing, I think, helped fix the West Coast as a sort of cultural epicenter for a whole minute. And Dre himself, man, he looked untouchable on that throne. And just when you think the cinematic stuff can't get any bigger, in comes Tupac. Out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreamin'. Man, you heard that, and you knew. This is what everybody'd been waiting for. It's wild because it's literally true. Tupac really was just out of jail. The song is both reporting and self-mythologizing in real time.
And in that one line, he collapses the old California dream, sunshine, palm trees, with a much grittier reality. He's dreaming, but it's not the dream the Beach Boys sang about, right? He's carrying the stress, the trauma, and ambition all at once. There's no pause for reflection. It's pure dominance, pure forward motion. For Tupac, it's not about escaping trouble. It's about turning it into fuel.
Yeah, it's almost like he leveled up. No time for soft focus or nostalgia. Tupac came in swinging. His first few bars, he's both the outlaw and the king. It's like, you want spectacle? I'll give you the most legendary return you've seen. And that's what the industry, honestly, the streets, needed right then. It reminded me a bit of how Mobb Deep in Shook Ones made their pain central. Except here, pain gets turned up to 10 and made into a celebration. Where was I going with this? Oh, right. Tupac doesn't just ask for a seat at the table, he kicks the door down, builds a new table, and throws a block party on it.
And it's also strategic. He's creating a new alliance. By joining Dre and Death Row, it's part caution, part bravado, but it's also stagecraft. And the line itself, it's a classic setup for everything that comes next, for his run as a West Coast icon. Now let's talk fashion. In LA, we wearing Chucks, not Bally's, dressed in locks and khaki suits. This might seem casual, but it's actually serious cultural signal flashing. Chuck Taylors, khakis, locks. If you grew up in the early 90s, especially in LA, that was everyday uniform, not just a look. It was code, inside and outside of the city.
Yeah, I mean, you'd see cats from the Bay all the way down to Long Beach in Chucks and khakis. It's brilliant because it marks out West Coast identity as something different from, say, New York fashion, where it might have been Timbs and gold chains, you know? Instead of Italian luxury, it's stripped down and street functional. These details say, we're not copying, we got our own style. And hip-hop's always been about claiming yourself visually, not just sonically.
Exactly, and it's subtle, but it lets everybody know who's in the club without ever saying it overtly. It's not exclusionary, but it's definitely proud. And honestly, that right there, it reinforces how hip-hop builds and sustains these microcultures. Just like Wu-Tang and ice cream used fashion and food as metaphors. But here, it's almost more territorial. You see those khaki suits, you know you're on someone's turf. There's a context, a history, sort of encoded in the uniform.
Right, and it's those little details that make a song stick with people beyond the radio. When everybody in your crew can go, oh, that's us. Whether we're talking slang, dress, or sound, that's powerful. All right, now this next lyric is one that really stopped me the first time I heard it. Only in Cali, where we riot, not rally, to live and die. It's a subtle line, snuck into a party track, but it's heavy. Camille, I know you've thought a lot about this duality in Tupac's music. How does it land for you?
I mean, that's the heart of Tupac right there. He refuses to give you just celebration or just trauma. The contrast between riot and rally is pointed, almost philosophical. He's referencing the legacy of LA unrest, especially the '92 riots, which were, protests that turned into explosions after so much pain and neglect. In other places, folks might gather peacefully, but in California, as he frames it, unrest is raw. It's a survival response. And this line lands in the middle of a joyful, bouncy beat. Tupac won't let anyone forget the pain beneath the party.
Yeah, there's that tension. Joy sitting on top of pain, not erasing it. It's like, we're here to celebrate, but let's not pretend struggle ain't right under the surface. It reminds me, when we talked about authenticity in Shook Ones, or the survival mentality and NY state of mind. Tupac is doing something similar, but he's putting that pain right in the middle of a song that gets played at cookouts and clubs. If anything, that makes it even more real.
And that's Tupac's contribution to hip-hop, I think. He inserts social truth where people expect only escapism, refuses to sanitize it, even if that means risking the mainstream. Duality without apology. To me, that makes California Love more than a party record. It's a document of lived reality, dancing and surviving at the same time.
So let's talk about impact and legacy. California Love didn't just chart, it never really left the conversation. Tupac came roaring back, Dre cemented himself as honestly the architect of modern West Coast rap, and suddenly, the world thought of California as not just a place, but kind of the vibe. The shoutouts became part of global hip-hop slang. Like, you didn't need to know the streets, you just knew you wanted to be there.
Absolutely. And it's wild, Roderick, how even now you hear echoes of that kind of state pride and city roll call in so many West Coast records. It set a tone for how the world would see California, a place of swagger, creativity, sometimes chaos, but also unity and resilience. You get these DNA traces in every West Coast revival track that's dropped since, and the song still works as a live party starter 30 years later. Not many tunes can say that.
It really proves how much hip-hop is about place and memory. Just like in our last episodes on Wu-Tang and Outkast, it comes back to how lyrics shape identity, community, and the story we tell about where we're from. This track did that for California forever.
And that's what makes these verses truly game-changing. California Love makes the personal political, the local universal. It's not just about Tupac and Dre, but everyone who sees a piece of themselves or their block in that chorus.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode. Next time, we'll dig into another verse that shifted the rap landscape. But for now, Camille, as always, it's real good vibing with you.
Likewise, Roderick. And thanks to everyone listening. Keep celebrating, keep questioning, keep listening close. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace, y'all.
It's the verse effect, it's the verse effect. I write the lyrics that change the game. Nothing's ever gonna be the same. Nothing's ever gonna be the same. I write the lyrics that change the game. Nothing's ever gonna be the same. Nothing's ever gonna be the same.